Welcome to our very first core on the floor. Earlier, I did a little quick video on our Facebook page and I called it floor on the core, but I just left that in there because whatever. I sometimes talk with a mouthful of marbles and that's okay. I accept that about myself. So for today's practice, we'll be obviously bearing some weight on the wrists. You might want some blocks around. For those instances, to give your wrists a break, you can rest your forearms on your blocks. Perhaps a bolster around. The wall is a really helpful thing as well. So settle in. We'll start with a seated warm-up and then a few poses, then a seated sun salutation, and then we'll get on with our practice. It's a quick 40 minutes or so, 40 or 50 minutes. So sitting up nice and tall, let's relax those shoulders down from our ears and just settle in to our sit bones, settling in to the earth, to our mat, connecting and checking in with our body today, closing our eyes and allowing the breath to come in fully, filling our lungs, and taking this opportunity to converse with your body exactly as it is in this moment, inviting your whole self to participate for the next 50 or 40 minutes. Inhaling and exhaling either through the nose, or if you want to have a few nice relaxing sighs for the beginning, you can add those in now. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth or the nose. A few more on your own. Feel the tension melting out of our jaws, our shoulders, and anchoring down into the earth. A few more breaths, centering and finding stillness. And let's begin our warm-up. We'll tuck our thumbs into our hands, maybe put them out in front of us if you want to, and do a few wrist rotations, getting those joints ready to support us one way and then the other. I look silly like that, so that looks funny. Okay, bring that down. And now our seated warm-up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twisting over to your right or your left, whichever one feels good. Back up, breathe in, and twisting over to the other side. As we inhale this time, we'll tip over to one side. So one hand coming down to the mat, reaching through. Inhale, reaching and extending. Exhale, tipping over to the other side. You can look underneath your armpit. Up we go. Bring our hands back behind us. Inhale, chest expansion. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, lifting that chest back up and reaching our arms up. Exhale, twisting over to one side. Inhaling up, twisting over to the other side. Reaching up, tipping over to one side. Check in where you want that neck to be. Reaching up and the other side. We'll inhale, reach up, bring our hands back behind us. Exhale, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, reaching our arms up as our chest lifts, twisting over to one side. Inhale up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale up, tipping over, so flexion in the spine. Inhale back up, flexing it over to the other side. And back up, breathing in, bringing the hands back behind us on an exhale. Inhale, opening our hearts. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, let's reach both of those arms up. And this time, just our left hand going over to our right knee or vice versa. And then we'll reach the arm up and tip over. So bringing your shoulder closer to your knee while the other arm reaches up. Anchoring through, we got a nice big stretch for our lats and our posterior muscles. Let's bring it to the other side. So you'll reach up, twist, and then the opposite arm goes straight up and then tips over as the shoulder comes down towards that front knee, and we reach up. You can look under your armpit if you want to. And then we'll bring it back. Amazing job. Making our way to child's pose. So we'll come to all fours. Find some space between our feet and our big toes come together. We'll slide those hips back. Let's rest our heads down on the mat and take a little massage for our foreheads. Feel some space through our lumbar spine, some opening up there. Making our way on an inhale up to all fours. Exhaling into cat pose. Inhaling cow. Exhaling child's pose. Inhaling right back up to cat, arching the back. Inhale cow. Exhale child's pose. So we'll inhale to all fours. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhale child's pose. Inhaling all fours. Exhale cat. Inhale cow. Exhaling, sliding it back to child's pose. This time inhaling up to all fours. And we'll start our spinal balance. So find your breath here, reaching our right arm forward and then drawing that knee across the body, touching our elbow to our knee. Inhale, reach. And continuing to flow on that same side, extending, keeping our hips square and reach. Starting to warm up the core, our floor core, our core floor, whatever we want to call it. On this next one, we'll keep our right hand reaching out, put our left toes down onto the mat and reach through that calf as the opposite arm reaches in the other direction. And to all fours and moving through our little tiger tail there. Reaching, knee to elbow, extension. Continuing to keep those hips facing towards the floor. Warming up the core. Think of lengthening and reaching, and then crunching, drawing belly button up and towards the spine. On this last one, we'll keep our hand either long or down on the mat. The foot will go down, and then we'll reach through that heel, stretching our calf as we reach through the opposite hand. Breathe. Wonderful. Coming to all fours, we'll take the weight onto the other hand, lift our opposite foot up, and reach back for that ankle. Stretching our quad. If you wanted to bring your hand to the inside of your foot, you can. Still have our hips facing the floor. And then the other side. So maybe find that length first, then the reach, and then the lift. Nice big stretch there. Bringing it down to all fours. You'll be taking it to child's pose. You can adjust your clothes here because we'll be moving on to our seated sun salutation. So if your knees are already not loving this practice, please double up your mat or put a pillow under your knees. All right, let's do our kneeling sun salutation. Bear with me, I don't do this all the time, so if I fumble the first couple, that's okay. We'll inhale and lift ourselves up so the chest comes up and we lift up to a mountain, reaching up. Inhale. Exhale, bringing our hands back behind us into our low back, fists or full hands. Inhale, opening up into camel. And exhale, all fours. Exhale. Inhale, shift into a kneeling plank. Exhale to the belly. Inhale, cobra or sphinx with the forearms down. Exhale, back to our belly. Inhale, push to all fours. Exhale, puppy pose. So the hips stay high and we bring the chest towards the floor. Inhaling back to all fours. So maybe bring your hands back under your shoulders, push up and slide it back to child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, coming back up to that kneeling extended mountain, reaching up. Exhaling, hands come back behind us. Inhaling camel. Exhaling all fours. Inhaling kneeling plank. Exhale to the belly. Open up into cobra. If you want to do up dog, you can. Exhale back to the belly. Then we'll push to all fours. And puppy pose. Hips stay high. We bring the chest towards the floor. Inhaling all fours. Exhaling child's pose. And again, inhale, sweeping up to that nice big extended mountain. Exhaling, hands come back behind us. Inhale, open up into your cobra. Pardon me, camel. Exhale, all fours. Nice flat back, strong core. Inhale, kneeling plank. Find that core. You could cross your heels here if you wanted to take a little bit of pressure off that one part of your knee, and down to the belly. Open up into cobra or sphinx. Exhale back down to the belly. The feet will go down. We'll lift up to all fours and into puppy pose. Inhale all fours. Exhale child's pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come back behind us. Open up on the inhale, and then exhale to all fours. You could be in down dog anytime we're in all fours if you wanted to add a little more sensation. Inhale into a full or kneeling plank. Exhale to the belly. Up dog or cobra. Back to the belly. We'll go to all fours. And then puppy pose. Back to all fours, unless you want down dog, and then to child's pose. Amazing. So now we're warm. There's our kneeling sun salutation. We'll come back up to all fours and flow through our puppy pose, sweeping thread the needle, sweeping that one arm through, keeping the hips high. Inhale, reach up. Stay on this one side and just sweep. So we warm up the belly, adding a little bit of a twist in here. Last one on this side, so just about 4 or 5 on each side. And then switching. Inhale as you open, exhale as we sweep through. Last one. To all fours, and then downward facing dog. So now we're getting into more of the work. Warm up is pretty much done. Let's pedal out our feet. And in our downward dog, let your head just hang here. Hang out, let it be heavy. Our biceps somewhere between the ears. Reaching those hips up towards the sky. And we've got a little small bend in our knees. Breathe. Inhaling into plank. Plank to down dog flow. So we shouldn't have to move our feet or our hands. Down dog should flow pretty seamlessly to a properly formed plank, but adjust as you need to. Last one, we'll start lifting that right foot up. 3-legged plank, 3-legged dog. Gonna have to adjust my shirt. You guys keep on flowing. A 3-legged plank, same side. Let's switch. Lifting the other foot, so we're keeping the hips square to the floor, shifting forward. Pushing back, reaching that heel up and away. Good job. Last one. From down dog, give the wrists a break, come down to forearms. Dolphin. Wonderful. So in our dolphin, let the wrists relax. You can have your hands clasped together if you want to, or palms down. Now look at our hands. Our hips are nice and high, and we're just going to shift our forehead to come here up and look in front of our hands, and then go back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, shifting it back. A few more. Really strong core work here. Last one. Bring it down to all fours, reach the arms long, puppy pose. Breathe. If you would like to rest, I sort of turn my light back on. If you want to rest in down dog, you can. Or we're in that puppy pose. Good job, everybody. So now we go back up to our dolphin pose, either clasp our hands together or not, and lift up. Actually, you know what? Come back down to all fours. If you have a block, take that block now. between your forearms. So that we have to squeeze it, we have to rotate our elbows a little bit forward. And now we can work on some shoulder work. So you can start on all fours, working towards tapping the elbows down, squeezing that block and lifting up. So just right here. Or if you're ready, and I don't know if I'm ready, we are down dogging. Dolphin. Oh, that's the first time I've ever been able to do that. So try it a couple times or stay on all fours. Tapping it down, bringing it up. One more. Take it back to puppy pose. Walk those hands out, stretch out your shoulders, keep your hips high. I'll give those wrists a break here, promise. You're saying, sure, sometimes you say that and you don't. Let's look up between our hands and bring our right foot up between the hands, or left, whichever one you want to do. Promised a wrist stretch, so let's come down into our hip flexor. If your left knee is in front of you, you'll be reaching your right arm up, grabbing it with the opposite hand and tipping over towards that left. So we're tipping towards the knee and we're feeling this stretch here and in our wrist. Sink into your hip flexor a little more if you want to. Nice stretch. Now both arms will go forward. And then the same side that knee is forward, that one's going to go back. We'll add a twist. And if you want to, hand will come down and you can reach up with that other hand or tuck it back behind you, still stretching our hip flexor, hips towards the mat. We'll frame that front foot, tuck our back toes, push back to downward facing dog. And we are going to jump 2 times close to the hands and practice our jump through, but we're not actually going to jump through unless some of you can do it. So we jump, jump. Now sweep a left knee or right knee through the hand and then the other one. So we're just going to take a little seat there. So this is pendulum pose. Lift it back up and take it back to downward facing dog. Then we'll be bringing the opposite foot up between the hands for our lunge on the other side, dropping down into that knee, rising up, grabbing the opposite hand, tipping over, stretching out that wrist here whilst we sink into our hip flexor, anchor through that whole front foot, and of course, we breathe. Can we become fully present in the next breath? Remember why you came. To serve yourself, to serve others. Wonderful. We can add that twist on now. So we can reach both arms forward and then the same side arm reaching back or bringing it down and really activating that twist whilst we sink into the hips. Breathe. Framing that front foot, we'll push it back to down dog and do our little practice jump through again. So downward dog. As our hips stay high in the air, we take 2 jumps forward and we want to look between our hands. Hips stay high, so think of trying to hold yourself up in mid-air while you're up there. That little pause, then a knee will come kind of through. The other one, we'll push back up and back to downward facing dog. And now from downward dog, right into striking cobra. So we come into a plank, turn the toes onto the mat, open up striking cobra. Take it back. So a little different than down dog or up dog. Our hips are down on the floor, striking cobra. Opening up, feel that stretch in the core. Turn the feet back, lift with the hips. So great. All right, coming into our regular plank, let's take a seat. Give those wrists a break. So we've warmed up our core. Now we're gonna get into it a little more, starting with your boat. Well, this is a nice pose, actually. I'll add it in next time. Okay, boat pose, if you'd like a block, you could have your block. I'm just gonna turn the other way. If you have a block, you could have that between your knees. So we'll start fairly easy. Well, easy, I don't wanna say easy. We'll start with this kind of amount of sensation and then up the sensation. You can choose which level you want. So first, let's sink into our boat. with or without this block. Toes are up or down, and we've got a bit of a V here and here. Hands can be on or off. Wonderful. So if we want them off, let's take them down and then turn the palms up. Let's really open up our chest, and we can choose to bring our toes up too. Love it. A few toe taps, and we'll just move through the toe taps. So this class is pretty flowing, a lot of vinyasa, a little less holding our poses. Now we will hold. Choose where you want your toes, down, up, or straight. Really squeezing that ball. You can hold onto your legs for that one if you need to, like me. Breathe. We're slowly going to round out our back. So we call this hollow man. Slowly rolling down, but keeping our shoulders off the mat. So we're just hollowing out our belly. Wonderful. We'll bring our right knee into chest. Slow back to hollow man. You can open up your heart, knee, back into hollow man. So it's like you're gliding that foot up your leg and then gliding it back down. Couple more. I don't know about you guys, but I'm liking our floor core, core floor. Last one. Grab a hold of our knees. We'll roll it up a bit. Bring our fingertips to face the back side. And let's stretch it out, opening up into either a tabletop, or if you want a little more, full incline plank, open up. Breathe. We can open up that heart, press into our feet, activate our back, our glutes. Breathe. If you're in your incline plank, try to walk your feet a little closer to the body, keeping your bum up. I can't quite do it. I think I need blocks. Let's try that with blocks. That booty gets in the way. Let's try that again. So whatever level you want to have your blocks on, just as long as it's stable. Incline plank. And then we'll walk it through, trying to keep our backside up and just bring it about here so that we can lean forward. Walk it back forward. One more time. Wonderful. Bring the hips down. Let's give our wrists a little break. Great job, girls. Other way. Blocks will go off to the side just for a minute. Okay, so we'll roll back onto our back. We're doing eagle legs. So we've got a cross of the legs and a cross of the elbows. So we're going to stretch and crunch. So eagle here, and then knee to elbow crunch up a few times. Let's go for about 6 or 8 on each side. So we've got our eagle, and we're breathing, right? Last one. And the other side. So cross it over. You can do your eagle legs. If you can wrap that foot right around, you might be able to on one side. Either hug arms or eagle arms, and we'll do our crunch on this side. Make sure to breathe. I have to take my own advice sometimes. Last one. Wonderful. So bring the feet up and the hands up. We'll do our dead bug. Everybody loves this one. Flowing dead bug. So your left foot will go down and your right arm will reach long while the other 2 appendages stay up. Then we press into the low back, lift it back up, and the other side. Nice and long, and then that reach. Flowing side to side. If you're really getting into it, then we don't even stop in the middle. We just flow. Exhale up, inhale open. Oops, I just did the same side. Oh, I did it again. Flow on your own. Close your eyes. If it feels really intense for your hip flexors, bend your knees, and you can do the same movement with your knees bent. Last one. We're going to roll it all the way back up so you can grab your knees underneath, roll it all the way back up. How's everybody doing? Sweating, I hope. How much time do we have? Okay, I got time. All right, so we're going to row our boat and make that into a forward fold. So feet are forward, lifting it up. If you had a workout band, that could be pretty helpful too around your feet. So we'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach for our feet. Inhale, pull it back, and we're going to go back until our abs catch us. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, pull it back until our abs catch us. A few more times. So without that anchor of the feet, that lean back can be a little more challenging, and that's okay. Last one. All right, let's bring our forearms down onto the mat behind us. And we'll be reaching our feet out. So the further away you are from the floor, the little bit less challenging it is. So the closer you are to the floor, the harder it might be, but make sure you're still able to anchor your low back. Wonderful. So we'll draw the knees in, push them up. Now go all the way down, big circle. As far as you can go, bring those knees in and up. A couple more like that. They'll be turning onto one hip. Last one. So we're doing about 6 rounds of each exercise. We get lots in. All right, let's roll over onto one side. Our forearms underneath us. We're kind of on our back, on that one cheek there, resting. The other hand will reach back behind us, press into the mat, and lift us up so that we can get this oblique into the equation too. Then we'll lift our legs. So you're on your backside. You can give yourself a little massage. Now the top leg is going to go back, bottom leg forward. Open up, bring it back. A few more. A little bit of our inner thigh work. My thighs have finally recovered from last week. Hold here. Take that top leg in front of the bottom leg, and we'll do some pulses. You can reach, you can flex your foot if you want to. Keep it nice and strong. Floor, core. And now let's do the other side. So we'll just sweep it over or just roll around to the other side. Find that cheek, give it a little massage. Wonderful. So the other hand goes back so that we can really open across this chest, and top leg goes back, bottom leg forward. Breathe. Use this yoga practice to build a nice, strong foundation from within. Last one. We'll hold. Top leg will come in front. You'll plant your foot, and we'll do some lifts here. You could bring that other hand in front if you want to, or reach it up, whatever works. Oh, so good. All right, so we are going to roll over onto our forearms again, and today's arm balance is the teddy bear or dolphin. So I haven't quite got there yet, but we're working on it, right? You might want some blocks for your feet. We move into our dolphin pose, which is forearms down. So dolphin can take us into a forearm stand. Yes. So clasping our hands together, we'll tuck our palm pinky in. And in dolphin, we don't have our head really cradled in our hands. We're more pushing it away, keeping the hips up. But for the forearm stand, you might want to cradle the head, lift the hips, but still keep the weight in the forearm. So we walk as far as we can in. Maybe we come up onto our blocks. We're working towards one day lifting both of these feet up.
If you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. No big deal. Walk it back. If you're enjoying your forearm stand, enjoy it. If not, you could even go to the wall. Yeah, great idea. Next week, actually, I'll show another good one next week for that one at the wall. Okay, my friends, that was our little bit of a practice for our arm balance. I don't want to run out of time. So let's move into back to downward dog. Let the head hang, so we'll give that neck a little bit of relief. Looking up between the hands. We're going to bring our right foot to the outside of the right hand. So moving into our lizard prep for our other arm balance that we worked on. So we're here. And when you're ready, if you want to, you can start with dropping that knee down, then forearms will come down, or they're on blocks. And this hand that is closest to your foot, the elbow's on the ground right now, but then we want to lift it up and create a shelf underneath that leg. And we walk that leg up as high as we can into our shoulder to create that shelf. Nice and strong here. And then if you want to, you lift up that back knee. One day we'll lift up this top foot too. Or you can play around with keeping that knee down and then extending that leg. Or just lifting it up, feeling that feeling of the weight being on your, I can't quite see my toes up, there it is. Foot goes down. Wonderful, so we'll walk that hand back in, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, push back to downward dog, and we'll be doing that all on the other side. So bring the other knee through, our foot to the opposite, outside of the hand, knee up or down, come to our forearms, and then choose if you want to stay here and enjoy your lizard pose or slide that arm back to create the shelf and play around with maybe lifting the back leg or lifting the top leg with our shelf. Find a breath, develop some confidence here. And then we'll bring that hand forward, slide the foot back. We'll do some forearm plank hip dips. So knees up or down. We'll be rocking onto one hip, lifting up, making a little half circle, over onto the other side. Breathe. Or you're on your knees, doing your hip dips from your knees. Breathing, feeling, listening to the body. All right, roll it right onto one side. Bring our hand underneath our head. We're almost there. Let's take our front leg forward as much as we can in front of us. That can feel super awkward. And then back. Try again. Bringing it forward. You might have to tap it down or even have a block. And back. That's a nice stretch. Bring it forward and back. Of course, we have to do on one side what we do on the other. So you'll just roll it over and maybe you're not facing me now. And I'll roll to the other side. Resting our head in our hand. It's kind of hanging out here. And then bringing that top leg forward. And back. Maybe do one more, lots of breath. And roll it back onto our backs. Bring our knees into our chest. Take a nice rock side to side, everybody. Massaging out that lower back. You did great. Let's stretch it out. Moving into bridge. Feet go down on the floor. We'll lift it up. Holding here. Stretching our core. Strengthening our backs. Opening our chests. Breathe. Hanging out in bridge as long as we want to. You can make it a restorative bridge. If you want to put a block underneath your lower back, that feels nice. Make sure that low back is nicely supported. Oh, almost. Oh my goodness. Got about 4 minutes left. I had one more little core work I wanted to do. So we'll bring the hips down to the mat, put the soles of the feet together so that we're in supine butterfly. Palms will come together and we'll lift our shoulder blades up and reaching our fingertips down for our heels. So we're thinking of sliding these lower ribs closer to the hips. So not so much about lifting up the head, but actually sliding those lower hips closer to the rib or the hips. Down we go. You can try to look at those toes, maybe not, maybe just look up. Holding here, breathing. Amazing. And relax. So you could stay in your reclining butterfly for your Shavasana. If you want to today, I would recommend maybe a block or something underneath each knee. Or you can come up into a seated position with me, especially if you have maybe work to get back to today, if you're on your lunch hour. Settle in, either laying down in a position of your choice where you're able to let your muscles relax. Closing our eyes. Well, let's notice our belly. Softening our belly, feeling compassion for our bellies today, for all that they have done for us throughout our life. So much goes on in that center of our body. Let's love it. Allow it to be soft once in a while. Release the tension. And if you could, imagine breathing in through your navel, filling up your belly, exhaling tension from the belly. Inhale, filling it up. Exhale, letting go of that tension. A few more. Big, beautiful belly breath. Meet that body right where it is today. The only truth of our body is it is going to change. And we can accept this body that we have now and that it will change. I hope that you can take a few moments in your Shavasana today for yourself, for your core, for your center. We definitely found our center today. We warmed it up and we gave it some love. Namaste.